Algebraic Expressions, Part 3. In today's lesson, students will evaluate algebraic expressions using substitution. Using what? Very good. So last week we were evaluating expressions with addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Who knows what those are called? Those are called what? Starts with an O. They're things that you do with a number. They're called operations, okay? So now we're going to put some of those operations together. And I want to remind you about multiplication. Let's take a look at some of the ways that you can represent how to multiply a number. We are most familiar with this, which means multiply, when you have an x in the middle, and the x actually means times, like 2 times 3. Well, what is 2 times 3? We know that 2 times 3 is 6. That's right. So there are a few more ways that you could write 2 times 3 that I want to go over. Okay. So another way to write 2 times 3, okay, is 2 with a dot and then 3. Okay. Because multiply also, this x is the same as this dot. They both means multiplied by or times. This is also 2 times 3. Okay. So 2 times 3 is 6. All right. The last way that I want to talk about how to represent multiplication is with parentheses. Is with what? Parentheses. So if I say 2 in parentheses 3, okay, 2 and right next to it is parentheses 3. What does this mean? It means 2 times 3, which is 6. So the ways that you can represent multiplication, there are 3 symbols that we've talked about before. Okay, so the first symbol is x, which means multiply. The second symbol is what's this? It's a dot. And the third symbol is actually an order of operations. It's parentheses. So these all mean multiply. Okay? All right, so go ahead and write this in the box. Now, another thing I want to talk about is now that we're using x as a variable, what is it? X is a variable. It represents a number. So if I say to you 2 in parentheses x, what does that mean? 2 in parentheses x. Does that mean 2 times x? It does, right? 2 times x. It does. Now 2 in parentheses x, 2 multiplied by x, is the same as 2 with an x touching it. This also means 2 times x. So when you see expressions where you have a number and a variable that are touching, these mean that they're being multiplied. They're being what? Multiplied. And multiply starts with an M, just like marry, like being married. When you're married to someone else, you are one. You're together, right? Yes, yes. So these are being multiplied. So we're going to be taking a look at some expressions with multiplication and one more operation. Okay. So here in this expression it says 2x. What does that mean? 2 times? No. It means 2 multiplied by a variable x. 2 multiplied by x minus 6. So when you substitute, okay, what is substitution? That's what you're supposed to be doing here. So say substitution, putting a number in the place of a letter. What is it? Substitution, putting a number in the place of a letter. Okay, so first you will work with your multiplication expression. Then you're going to be always subtracting 6. All right, so why don't we start with this one? 2x, which means 2 multiplied by some number, minus 6. What is that number? Well, first we're going to go ahead and substitute. What number is this? X equals what? It's -2. So when I do that, I know these are being multiplied, so I'm going to put parentheses. What am I going to put? Parentheses. So I'll say 2 in parentheses, what's being multiplied by 2 here? Okay, I'm going to put what in the place of x? I'm going to put a -2 in the place of x. Then I'm going to go ahead and take away 6 because this is a -6. All right. Now underneath, because I do need to show my work, now I'm going to ask myself, all right, well, what's 2 times -2? What is 2 times -2? You must remember Bob, okay? And let's do what Bob tells us to do, which is a negative times a positive is, what's the mouth? Negative. Negative times a positive is negative. Okay. So we have, or positive times a negative is negative. So if we have different signs that we're multiplying, different signs, a negative and a positive, the answer is negative. So do we have that here? A +2 and a -2 make what? Positive and a negative make negative. So we have a -4, and then we have a -6. All right, -4 and -6. So do they have the same signs? Do they have the same signs? Yes. So then you sing the integer song. You say, same signs, add and keep. Stop. Sing it again. Same signs, add and keep. So we're going to add 4 plus 6. Okay, 4 plus 6. Which is what? 4 plus 6 is 10. But we're going to keep the negative. So this answer is -10. All right, let's try the second one now. Okay, got to show all your work in the box. We have 2 multiplied by x minus 6. What number are we going to substitute in the place of x? X equals what? X equals +3. What does it equal? +3. So we're going to say, okay, 2, then we're going to add parentheses. Times what? 2 times 3, all right? Then we're going to take away 6. We have a -6 to work with here. All right. So we have a positive and a positive. Positive times positive is what? It's positive, right? What's 2 times 3? Remember 2 times 3? Oh, it's 6. Then I'm going to subtract 6. Whenever you have a number and then you subtract that same number, what is 6 take away 6? It is 0. 0. Circle that answer. Okay, next one. X equals -4. Okay, we're going to substitute what number in the place of x? What number is this? This is -4. And we're going to keep using this expression. 2 multiplied by x, take away 6. Okay, so we're going to say 2 in parentheses. What are we multiplying by 2? Right? What is x? X is -4, right? Yeah. 2 times a -4, then subtract 6 from that. Okay, so what is a positive times a negative? They're different signs. You're multiplying. A positive times a negative makes what? Makes what? It's a negative. What is 2 times 4, or 2 times -4 is -8. And then you're going to go ahead and subtract 6. You're working with -8 and -6. I'm going to ask you a question. Are they the same signs or different signs? Are they both negative? Yes. When you have the same signs, now you're actually working with the addition of integers. And it looks like subtraction. It does. But really, when you have the same signs, what do? You say, same signs, add and keep. So you add 8 and 14. I'm sorry, 8 and 6. I already gave the answer away. And what is 8 plus 6? 8 plus 6 is 14. But because you have a negative, the answer is -14. Okay, so go ahead and get that down. Okay, so now we're going to be working with this expression, and what I want to do is make it very clear that what we're multiplying x by is -3. What is it? It's a -3. So read the expression with me. It says -3x plus 4 more. Okay, so we're going to be multiplying -3 by whatever we substitute in for x, then we're going to add 4 to it. So let's go ahead and start. The first, and let me erase these. Okay. The first value we're going to substitute is x equals -2. What does it equal? -2. So we're going to say, all right, this is a -3, we're going to multiply it in parentheses. What goes here? What goes here? -2. Then we're going to add 4 to that. Okay, so we have a negative times a negative. Remember, when you have a negative, show me when you have a negative and you multiply it by a negative, it makes positive. Negative times negative is positive. Just like when you look at Bob's mouth and his eye, what's his other eye? Negative times negative is positive. So you end up with a +6, don't you? Right? +6. And then you add 4. So what is the value here? 6 plus 4? 6 plus 4 equals 10. Notice, shh, you have same signs. +6 and +4 make +10. Here, you had the same signs. -4 and -6 make -10. So same signs, add and keep. What's the difference between this answer and this answer? This is negative and this is positive. Okay, let's look at the next one. X equals 3. All right, x equals 3. So we're going to say -3 multiplied by 3 plus 4. Okay, who knows what -3 times 3 is? What is -3 times 3? A negative times a positive. A negative times a positive is negative. It is negative, what? 3 times 3 is 9. Then you're going to add 4. Okay, so a -9 and a +4. Do they have the same signs or do they have different signs? They have different signs, right? So you say, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. All right, so we're going to subtract 9 and 4. We're going to say 9 take away 4. Okay, 9 take away 4 is what? What's 9 minus 4? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, right? But what's the sign of the bigger number? Is it 9 or 4? The bigger number is 9, and the sign is negative. So this is -5. Make sure you circle your answers, okay? Okay, last box. All right, we have, remember, the expression is -3 times x plus 4. And we're plugging in what number for x? We're going to substitute -4. So we'll say, okay, -3 times a -4 plus 4. So again, you have to multiply 3 times 4 first. Order of operations say, do multiplication first. -3 times a -4. A negative times a negative makes positive. So we have positive what? What's 3 times 4 is? 12. Then you're going to go ahead and add 4 more to 12. Who knows 12 plus 4? 12 plus 4 is 16. Very good. Okay, so go ahead and get that down.